Max caught sight of 2 nightshades being tossed down the hill in front of them. He turned to see Grandpa standing erect, with his arms stretched out in front of him. Grandpa had spotted the trap ahead. On the hill behind them, the trailing nightshades advanced. Their black clothing flapped in the rush, but their hoods still hid their faces. A roar escaped their mouths as they spotted their prey and raced down the hill towards them. Yelka let go of Max's hand and joined Grandpa. "Joseph, get the children out." "I won't leave you alone," Grandpa said. "Max can't hide in this world, and you know it. You need to get him home where he will be safe. I will be all right. This is my world, not theirs." "Cindy, Max, come on." Grandpa took the lead. Max didn't want to leave Yelka, but he knew they couldn't help her. For a moment he stared at her in a silent goodbye. "Don't worry, children. We will meet again," Yelka promised. "Izginim si," she uttered, and vanished. "Come on!" Grandpa reached back and dragged them after him. Max tried to watch over his shoulder, but he couldn't get a clear view with the pace Grandpa was setting. From somewhere behind, howls of pain filled the air. It comforted him that none of the screams matched Yelka's voice. Grandpa guided them up the hill, and then turned right along the top. The cries disappeared behind them. At the bottom of the hill, a flash of black mingled with the sea of green. "Grandpa!" Max yelled. "I see him! Keep running!" The nightshades gained on them. A sudden, incredible force struck Max in the back and sent him flying into Cindy and Grandpa. They crashed down in a pile of tangled arms and legs. Max tried to stand, but his lungs burned, and he couldn't breathe. Cindy extended her hand to help him up when a nightshade reached the top of the hill. The nightshade rushed towards them, and Cindy stepped in front of Max as he struggled for air. "Primakni!" she screamed with no result. "Primakni!" Grandpa said with his hands extended. The spell yanked the nightshade off the ground and flung it sideways down the hill. Max regained his wind and was ready to move. Grandpa was next to them in an instant, the crystal in his hand. He waved it through the air, and when he found the gateway, he handed the crystal to Max. "Take Cindy. Remember, you have to step up into the gateway." "You have to come with us," Max argued, his voice full of panic. "I'll be right behind you, but I need my hands free to fight. Go now." "Izginemsi." Grandpa vanished. Max seized Cindy by the hand and pulled her after him. He located the gateway about 300 yards away on the next hill. As they started down the hill, Max slipped on the grass and slid down on his butt. Cindy, rather than being dragged down head first, kicked her feet out and landed on her backside to slide after him. At the bottom of the hill, they hopped to their feet and dashed up the last hill. An occasional sharp wail or shout of anger reached their ears as they pushed themselves forward. Max remembered where the crystal showed the gateway's entrance. They were getting close. They scrambled with all the energy they could muster when, on the hill behind the gateway, more nightshades appeared. "Run to the gateway!" Grandpa yelled from somewhere behind them. "It's our only chance!" Max and Cindy sprinted as fast as they could. The nightshades raced towards them, and the gap closed quickly. Max reached the gateway at full speed and dove through, dragging Cindy behind him. They landed on the floor and rolled to their feet, staring at the gateway. "Come on, Grandpa," Max whispered. "Max, if he doesn't come, we don't know how to operate the machine," Cindy gasped for air. "He's coming," Max responded. Deep down he was worried, but he didn't want Cindy to know. The light of the gateway flickered, brightening and dimming a few times. Max's heart rose up in his throat. A couple of minutes had gone by, and still Grandpa hadn't stepped through. "What are we going to do?" Cindy asked in a fearful voice. "He's coming," Max insisted, but with each passing second, his pulse grew louder. The constant humming of the force field only added to the tension. Time froze as seconds turned to minutes. All they could do was wait. The light around the gateway suddenly flashed brighter, and they covered their eyes. When the light dimmed, a nightshade stood in front of the gateway. "Children's," it hissed.